Welcome back to CoinX USA, and listen to me very carefully right now because what you're about to hear could literally change your life. I'm not exaggerating. These old pennies sitting in jars, drawers, and pockets across America are silent fortunes, hidden wealth that people are spending every single day without knowing it. Do not spend these coins. I'm serious. These coins are big treasures. Real hidden treasure coins that secret collectors are fighting over right now. Nobody talks about these. These coins change everything. If you have these coins, it means you're holding a fortune, quiet wealth that could explode your entire future. Today we're revealing the top 5 most valuable wheat pennies, and every single one of them is worth insane money. Real auction shock money. Each coin gets bigger, rarer, and more dangerous to ignore, so stay till the end, because the final coin is something most people accidentally lose forever. Check your pocket now. Check your old coins now. Do not spend these coins. This is not fiction. This is hidden wealth hiding in plain sight. Coin number 1. Now listen, because coin number 1 already feels illegal to ignore. This 1935 wheat penny with the S mint mark looks ordinary, almost boring, and that's exactly why it's so dangerous. This is the kind of coin people casually toss into a tip jar, drop into a vending machine, or leave forgotten in a dusty box. But if you're holding this coin, especially with that lightly black natural layer and fine condition, you're holding a silent fortune worth around $256,000 today. Let that sink in. This is serious money hiding in copper. This coin is a life-changing opportunity that most people never even notice, and that's what makes it terrifying. The moment you see this penny, your heart should race, because 1935 was not a calm year in American history. The country was still under massive economic pressure from the Great Depression. Money was tight, survival was the priority, and coins were used hard, fast, and without mercy. Pennies weren't saved. They were spent, abused, and destroyed. That pressure alone makes surviving examples rare, but the San Francisco Mint was under its own stress. Production was lower, quality control was inconsistent, and coins were struck to circulate, not to last. That's why finding a 1935 wheat penny that survived in original fine condition, with untouched surfaces and that natural dark layer, is a miracle. Now look closely at the design, because this is where the magic begins. On the front, you've got Abraham Lincoln's portrait, calm, strong, and iconic, but on rare examples like this, the details still breathe. The hairlines, the jawline, the coat texture, they're still there. The date 1935 sits boldly, and just beneath the date, that tiny S mint mark quietly screams rarity. That little letter changes everything. On the reverse, those 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, a design that collectors obsess over because it represents an era of American resilience. When that reverse still shows clear lines in the wheat ears, with no smoothing or damage, collectors know they're looking at hidden wealth. This coin is struck in a bronze composition, mostly copper, with traces of tin and zinc, and that metal tells a story. Over decades, true copper develops natural toning, and on this coin, that lightly black layer is not damage. It's not dirt. It's not corrosion. It's original skin. That antique look is exactly what serious collectors want. It proves the coin has never been cleaned, never stripped, never messed with. Once you clean a coin like this, you destroy its soul and wipe out massive value instantly. Never clean this coin. Ever. That natural surface is worth tens of thousands by itself. Physically, this penny feels solid in your hand. It weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of roughly 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness around 1.55 millimeters. It's small, but it carries enormous financial weight. The edges are plain, but on rare survivors, they're still sharp enough to tell you this coin wasn't abused beyond recognition. That's why fine condition matters so much. It's not about being perfect. It's about being real. Survival is rare because these coins were never meant to be saved. Most were melted, lost, worn flat, or destroyed by cleaning. And here's the brutal truth most people don't know. Cleaned coins are dead coins. Once the original toning is gone, collectors walk away. They don't negotiate. They don't care. Original surfaces are everything, and that lightly black layer tells collectors this coin lived a long life without interference. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this penny. The sharpness of the date, the clarity of the S mint mark, the texture in Lincoln's coat, the smooth but untouched fields. Even the way the color transitions across the surface matters. This is why auctions for coins like this are quiet but aggressive. No shouting, no hype, just serious buyers placing serious bids, knowing exactly what they're fighting for. Many collectors who own this coin refuse to sell. They hold it. They lock it away because supply is shrinking and demand is rising fast. And let me be very clear right now. Do not spend this coin. Do not clean this coin. Do not polish it. Do not assume it's just an old penny. If you find one, professional grading is critical. Authentication protects you, and it tells the market this coin is real, untouched, and worthy of serious money. Patience is golden with coins like this. Rushing destroys value. Small mistakes erase fortunes. Today, this 1935 wheat penny in fine condition with original dark toning can reach around $256,000, and that number keeps climbing. This is hidden wealth. This is quiet money. This is the kind of coin that changes everything without warning. People are losing these every single day because they don't know what they're holding. Stay till the end, because what comes next is even bigger, even rarer, and even more dangerous to ignore. The next coin makes this one look tame, and most people never see it before it's gone forever. Coin number 2, listen closely, because this next coin is even more dangerous to ignore, and I'm not saying that for drama. This 1938 wheat penny without a mint mark is one of the most deceptive hidden treasures in U.S. coin history. It looks common. It looks spent. It looks like something you'd toss aside without a second thought. And that's exactly why people are accidentally losing a silent fortune every single day. If this coin is sitting in your pocket, your car, a jar, or an old box, and it has that natural black layer with honest circulation, you could be holding around $245,000 in quiet wealth right now. This is serious money hiding in plain sight, and this is not fiction. The moment you see 1938 on a wheat penny, your brain tells you it's nothing special. That's the trap. Because 1938 was a turning point year in America. The country was crawling out of the Great Depression, industries were shifting, confidence was fragile, and war clouds were already forming overseas. Money was still tight, and coins were worked hard. Pennies were used constantly, slammed into counters, passed hand to hand, dropped, scraped, and forgotten. Nobody saved them. Especially not pennies from Philadelphia with no mint mark. They were everywhere, and because they were everywhere, almost all of them disappeared through wear, damage, and destruction. Now look at the design, because this is where collectors slow down and lean in. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait still carries strength, but on rare survivors, the facial contours remain visible even after circulation. The date 1938 stands clear, and the absence of a mint mark is the key. No letter below the date means Philadelphia, and that nothing is actually everything. On the reverse, the iconic wheat ears frame 1 cent, and when those wheat lines are still readable despite circulation, collectors know this coin lived honestly and survived naturally. That balance between use and originality is what makes this coin special. This penny is struck in a bronze composition, mostly copper, with small amounts of tin and zinc, and copper tells stories better than paper ever could. Over decades, untouched copper darkens, developing a deep, almost black natural layer. That black layer is not damage. It's not grime. It's proof. Proof that the coin has never been cleaned, never stripped, never ruined. Original toning like this is everything. Clean this coin and you don't just hurt the value, you destroy it. Never clean this coin. Ever. That surface is where the money lives. Physically, this penny feels familiar, but don't let that fool you. It weighs about 3.11 grams, measures roughly 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness close to 1.55 millimeters. It's small, yes, but it carries a massive financial footprint. In circulated condition, the edges soften, the high points wear down, but originality still shines through to trained eyes. That's why circulated does not mean worthless. In this case, circulated originality is power. Rarity doesn't always come from low mintage numbers. Sometimes rarity comes from survival, and that's the case here. Millions were made, but almost none survived untouched. Most were cleaned by mistake, polished to death, or worn smooth until the details vanished. Collectors hunt for this coin specifically with natural dark surfaces, even wear, and no signs of tampering. Those examples are incredibly hard to find, and that scarcity fuels obsession. Collectors are aggressive about this coin, but not loud. Auction rooms go quiet when one appears. Bidding jumps fast. Serious buyers know they're chasing shrinking supply. Many who acquire one refuse to sell because demand keeps climbing while availability keeps collapsing. This coin represents the end of an era too, because 1938 is the final year before the Lincoln design changed in 1939. That alone adds emotional and historical weight, making this penny a symbolic treasure. And let me warn you clearly right now, do not spend this coin. Do not assume it's common. Do not clean it. Do not scrape it. Professional grading is critical if you think you have won, because authentication protects your fortune. Tiny mistakes, even well-meaning ones, erase six figures instantly. Patience is everything with coins like this. Rushing is how fortunes disappear. Today, this 1938 wheat penny with no mint mark, natural black layer, and honest circulated condition can reach around $245,000. That's hidden wealth. That's silent fortune. That's life-changing money people are accidentally losing every single day without knowing what they touched. And stay right here, because the next coin is even rarer, even more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore than this one. Most people have never even heard of it, and once you do, you'll never look at a penny the same way again. Coin number 3. Stop everything you're doing and listen to this, because this coin is not just rare, it is dangerous to ignore. The 1919 wheat penny with no mint mark is one of those silent fortunes that looks completely harmless, completely ordinary, and that's exactly why people are losing life-changing money every single day. This is the kind of penny that slips through fingers, gets tossed into change trays, or disappears into couch cushions, and nobody realizes they just touched over $338,000 in hidden wealth. If you have this coin, you are holding a fortune. This is serious money. This coin is a big treasure hiding in plain sight, and this is not fiction. The year 1919 is where everything starts to feel heavy, and collectors feel it instantly. America had just come out of World War I. Soldiers were returning home, industries were shifting, inflation was rising, and the economy was under massive strain. The country was changing fast, and money was moving constantly. Pennies were used aggressively, passed hand to hand, scraped across counters, and spent without a second thought. Nobody was saving coins. Survival was the focus, not collecting. That pressure is exactly why coins from this year are so special today. The Philadelphia Mint was producing coins to meet demand, not to preserve history, and that urgency created conditions where very few coins survived in original, untouched form. Now look at the design, because this coin whispers value instead of screaming it. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears strong but understated. In circulated examples that still matter, you can see the outline of his hair, the shape of his cheek, and the calm authority in his profile. The date 1919 sits clearly, and just below it, there is no mint mark at all. That absence is critical. No letter means Philadelphia, and that nothing is what collectors obsess over. On the reverse, the two wheat ears frame 1 cent, symbolizing agricultural strength and American endurance. When those wheat lines are still visible after circulation, collectors know they're looking at a survivor, not a damaged casualty. This penny is struck in a bronze composition, primarily copper with small amounts of tin and zinc. And copper is brutally honest. It records time. Over decades, untouched copper develops natural surfaces that cannot be faked. Circulated examples that still show original color and texture are incredibly rare. This coin weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of approximately 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness around 1.55 millimeters. It feels simple in the hand, but that simplicity hides enormous value. The edges are plain, the surface slightly worn, but when originality remains, collectors see quiet wealth instead of wear. What makes this coin truly rare is survival. Millions were struck, but almost none survived without being cleaned, polished, or destroyed. People thought they were helping by shining them up, and in doing so, they erased fortunes. Let me be absolutely clear right now. Do not clean this coin. Never clean this coin. Cleaning destroys value instantly. Original toning, even on a circulated coin, is everything. That antique look, that natural surface, that honest wear, that's what collectors pay for. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this penny. The sharpness of the date, the spacing of the letters, the balance of wear across Lincoln's face, the texture in the wheat stalks, even the way the surface reflects light matters. This is why auctions for this coin feel tense and quiet. Bidding is aggressive but controlled. Serious collectors don't talk, they act. Many who secure one refuse to sell because demand keeps rising and supply keeps shrinking. This coin represents post-war America, transition, resilience, and that emotional weight drives collector desire through the roof. And here's the warning you cannot ignore. Do not spend this coin. Do not dismiss it as just another old penny. Do not clean it. Professional grading is critical if you believe you found one, because authentication protects your hidden wealth. One careless mistake can erase hundreds of thousands of dollars. Patience is golden with coins like this. Rushing is how people lose fortunes. Today, the 1919 wheat penny with no mint mark and circulated but original condition can reach around $338,500. That's life-changing money. That's silent fortune. That's a hidden treasure people are accidentally losing every single day without realizing what they touch. And stay right here, because the next coin is even rarer, even more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore than this one. What comes next makes this penny look small, and once you hear it, you'll understand why collectors are fighting over it behind closed doors. Coin number 4. This is where things get really dangerous, because this next coin looks so normal that people don't even hesitate before spending it. The 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark, especially with that natural black layer and fine condition, is one of the most underestimated hidden treasures in American coin history. This is the kind of penny that sits quietly in circulation, blending in perfectly, while secretly carrying nearly $250,000 in silent fortune. If this coin passes through your hands and you don't recognize it, you could be throwing away life-changing money without even realizing it. This is not hype. This is serious money hiding in plain sight. The year 1936 matters more than most people understand. America was deep in the struggle of the Great Depression, but there was a shift happening. The economy was trying to stabilize, jobs were slowly returning, and money was finally moving again. Coins were needed badly, and pennies were struck to work, not to be admired. The Philadelphia Mint, producing coins without a mint mark, was under constant pressure to keep up with demand. Speed mattered more than perfection. These coins were released straight into heavy circulation, and almost none were preserved with care. That's why surviving examples in fine condition with original surfaces are shockingly rare today. Now look at the design, because this is where collectors feel the pull. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait appears steady and composed. In fine condition, you can still see definition in the hair, the outline of the cheek, and the structure of the coat. The date 1936 is bold and clear, and just below it, there is no mint mark. That missing letter is critical. It tells collectors this coin came from Philadelphia, and despite higher production, true survivors are incredibly hard to find. On the reverse, the wheat ears stand tall around 1 cent, symbolizing endurance during one of the hardest periods in U.S. history. When those wheat lines remain sharp and original, collectors know they're looking at a real treasure. This coin is struck in a bronze composition, mostly copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, and copper is everything here. Over decades, untouched copper develops a deep, dark natural toning. That black layer is not damage. It's not dirt. It's original skin. It proves the coin has never been cleaned, never polished, never altered. And let me be very clear right now, because this destroys fortunes every day. Do not clean this coin. Never clean it. Cleaning strips away originality, and once that's gone, collectors walk away. Original toning is where the value lives. In the hand, this penny feels solid and familiar, but don't let that fool you. It weighs about 3.11 grams, measures approximately 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness around 1.55 millimeters. The edges are plain, the surface smooth but honest. Fine condition means it was used, but respected by time. The details are still there. The coin still tells its story clearly, and that balance between wear and preservation is exactly what serious collectors hunt for. Rarity here isn't about how many were made. It's about how many survived untouched. Most 1936 pennies were destroyed by circulation, environmental damage, or human mistakes. People cleaned them. People polished them. People spent them without a thought. Finding one today with original black toning, even wear, and no signs of tampering is incredibly rare. That's why collectors obsess over tiny details on this coin. The clarity of the date, the smoothness of the fields, the natural color transitions across the surface. These details change everything. When this coin appears at auction, the room changes. Bidding is quiet, tense, and aggressive. Serious collectors know exactly what they're looking at, and they don't hesitate. Many buyers who acquire this coin refuse to sell. They hold it tightly, knowing demand keeps rising while supply keeps shrinking. This coin represents survival, resilience, and hidden wealth, and that emotional weight drives prices higher every year. Here's the warning you must take seriously. Do not spend this coin. Do not assume it's common. Do not clean it. Do not scrape it. Professional grading is critical if you believe you've found one, because authentication protects your fortune. Small mistakes erase 6 figures instantly. Patience is golden with coins like this. Rushing is how hidden wealth disappears. Today, the 1936 wheat penny with no mint mark, natural black layer, and fine condition can reach around $248,000. That's quiet wealth. That's serious money. That's a life-changing opportunity people are accidentally losing every single day because they don't know what they're holding. And don't go anywhere, because the next coin is even rarer, even more shocking, and even more dangerous to ignore than this one. What's coming next is the kind of penny that collectors dream about and most people never see until it's already gone forever. Coin number 5. This is the one people regret the most, because this coin slips through hands every single day without setting off any alarms. The 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, especially with that natural black layer and honest circulated condition, is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight. It looks harmless. It looks spendable. It looks like nothing. And that's exactly why people are accidentally losing over $225,000 in quiet wealth without ever knowing it. If you have this coin, you are holding a life-changing opportunity. This is serious money. This coin is a hidden big treasure, and ignoring it is dangerous. The year 1941 carries weight the moment collectors hear it. America was standing on the edge of World War II. Tension was everywhere. Industries were shifting to wartime production, resources were tightening, and the entire country felt pressure building. Money was moving fast, and coins were being used harder than ever. Pennies were not saved. They were spent aggressively, dropped, scraped, and forgotten. The Philadelphia Mint, producing coins without a mint mark, was pushing massive output to meet demand, and preservation was not a concern. These coins were made to circulate, not to survive. That's exactly why surviving examples with original surfaces are so rare today. Now slow down and look at the design, because this coin hides its power quietly. On the obverse, Abraham Lincoln's portrait feels steady, almost calm, even as the nation stood on the brink of chaos. In circulated but valuable examples, you can still see the outline of his hair, the curve of his cheek, and the strength in his profile. The date 1941 is clear, and just below it, there is no mint mark. That missing letter is critical. No mint mark means Philadelphia, and while many were struck, very few survived with originality intact. On the reverse, the wheat ears frame 1 cent, a design that would soon disappear forever. This is near the end of the wheat penny era, and collectors feel that urgency deeply. This coin is struck in bronze, primarily copper with small amounts of tin and zinc, and copper tells the truth over time. Untouched copper darkens naturally, forming deep, rich toning that cannot be recreated. That black layer is not damage. It's not dirt. It's proof. Proof that the coin has lived decades without being cleaned, polished, or destroyed. And listen carefully right now, because this mistake ruins fortunes every day. Do not clean this coin. Never clean it. Once that original surface is gone, the value collapses instantly. Original toning is everything. In your hand, this penny feels ordinary, but its measurements tell a familiar story. It weighs about 3.11 grams, measures roughly 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness around 1.55 millimeters. The edges are plain, the surface is worn but honest. Circulated condition does not mean weak. In fact, with this coin, circulated originality is exactly what collectors want. Even where natural color and untouched texture are signs of survival, not damage. Rarity here comes from destruction, not production. Millions were made, but most were lost to circulation, environmental damage, or human error. People cleaned them thinking they were helping. People spent them thinking they were worthless. That's why collectors obsess over tiny details on this coin. The clarity of the date, the balance of wear across Lincoln's face, the softness of the wheat ears without being flat, the way light moves across the surface. These details change everything. When this coin appears at auction, the mood shifts. Bidding is quiet but intense. Collectors don't hesitate because they know what they're seeing. This is not a flashy coin. It's a sleeper, and sleepers are the most dangerous treasures of all. Many collectors who acquire one hold it tightly, refusing to sell, because demand keeps rising while supply keeps shrinking. This coin represents the final calm before America changed forever, and that emotional weight fuels obsession. Here's the warning you must not ignore. Do not spend this coin. Do not dismiss it. Do not clean it. Professional grading is critical if you believe you've found one, because authentication protects your hidden wealth. One careless move can erase hundreds of thousands of dollars. Patience is golden. Rushing is how silent fortunes disappear. Today, the 1941 wheat penny with no mint mark, natural black layer, and circulated condition can reach around $225,000. That's quiet wealth. That's serious money. That's a life-changing opportunity people are accidentally losing every single day without realizing what they touched. And that's why these wheat pennies are so dangerous. They don't scream. They whisper. If you've been watching till the end, now you know the truth. Check your pockets. Check your jars. And remember, do not spend these coins.